Have you ever noticed how changes in your eyesight seem to creep up on you quietly? One day, you're reading the newspaper just fine, and the next, the words look a little hazy. Driving at night starts to feel more stressful, headlights almost blinding. And before long, you might even feel as though there's a thin fog between you and the people you love. For millions of older adults, this isn't just age, it's the silent progression of cataracts. But here's the part most people don't know. While cataracts are common, what you eat every day can make a real difference in how fast they develop. I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Ageless Garden. Today I want to show you how something as simple as adding the right handful of nuts to your daily routine could help protect your vision naturally and keep your independence stronger for years to come. Your eyes are living tissue, and like every part of your body, they need fuel and protection. One of the biggest hidden villains behind cataracts is oxidative stress, a slow kind of rusting that clouds the lens over time. Add in poor circulation, which reduces the steady stream of oxygen and nutrients your eyes depend on. And you have the perfect storm for vision decline. But here's the hopeful truth. Certain nutrients, especially antioxidants, omega-3 fats, zinc, lutein, and niacin, can strengthen your eyes' defenses. And some of the richest, most accessible sources are already sitting in your pantry. Everyday nuts. When I think about almonds, I don't just see a snack. I see a shield, a quiet, everyday protector that most people underestimate. Cataracts, as I mentioned earlier, are heavily driven by oxidative stress. Imagine a metal railing left out in the rain year after year. Slowly, rust eats away at it. Not in one day, but little by little. Your eye's lens experiences something similar. Free radicals, unstable molecules created by sunlight exposure, pollution, even your own metabolism, attack the delicate proteins in your lens. Unlike skin or muscle, the lens has almost no way to repair itself. Once the damage starts, it snowballs. That's where antioxidants come in, and among them, vitamin E stands tall. Vitamin E is fat-soluble, which means it embeds itself into cell membranes, acting like armor. When free radicals try to strike, vitamin E absorbs the blow, sparing the lens from further clouding. In fact, a study published in Ophthalmology found that people with higher dietary intake of vitamin E had a significantly lower risk of developing cataracts over time. This isn't theory, it's evidence. And almonds, ounce for ounce, are one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E on Earth. A simple handful, about 20 to 25 almonds, can give you nearly half your daily needs. But more important than the numbers is the rhythm. You don't eat almonds once and wake up with crystal clear vision. You build a habit, letting those antioxidants quietly accumulate, fortifying your lens year after year. I've seen this play out in real lives. Take Margaret, a 68-year-old retired librarian I met a few years ago. Reading was her joy. She loved curling up each night with a novel or sharing a storybook with her granddaughter. But slowly the words began to blur, letters dancing on the page. I thought I was just tired, she told me. But when I stopped reading altogether, I knew something deeper was wrong. Her eye exam revealed early cataracts, not severe enough for surgery, but enough to dim her world. Instead of rushing to interventions, we started with her diet. She rarely ate nuts, so we added almonds to her afternoon tea, 6 days a week. 3 months later, Margaret called me. She wasn't cured, and cataracts don't vanish overnight, but she was back to finishing chapters. She laughed when she said, "I can read Charlotte's Web to Lily again. I just take it slower, but I can follow the pages without frustration." That small handful of almonds gave her more than antioxidants. It gave her back a piece of her identity. Here's what I want you to take away. Almonds are not a magic pill, but they are momentum. Every bite builds resilience against oxidative stress. Every handful is a message to your body that you're giving it tools, not leaving it defenseless. The beauty is in the simplicity. You don't need an exotic supplement shipped from across the world. You need a small bowl of almonds by your kettle or coffee pot, ready to pair with your morning cup. So if you've noticed the early signs, squinting at the paper, struggling under harsh light, or feeling like a fog has crept between you and your loved ones, don't shrug it off as just age. Consider what's on your plate, or in this case, in your hand. Almonds, humble as they are, might be one of the most powerful allies in keeping your eyesight clearer for longer. If almonds are the shield protecting your eyes from oxidative stress, then walnuts are the fuel line keeping everything running smoothly. The health of your eyes isn't just about the lens staying clear, it's also about blood flow. Your retina and lens are fed by some of the tiniest, most delicate blood vessels in your body. After 60, those vessels don't always perform the way they used to. Circulation slows, vessels stiffen, and nutrients struggle to reach the tissues that depend on them. When your lens doesn't get enough nourishment, clouding accelerates. That's one reason cataracts develop faster in some people than others. Here's where omega-3 fatty acids step in. You've probably heard of omega-3s from fish oil, but many people don't realize walnuts are the richest plant-based source of a particular omega-3 called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. Think of ALA as oil for the hinges. It keeps blood vessels flexible, reduces inflammation, and allows oxygen and nutrients to glide into your eye structures more efficiently. Research published in Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science has shown that higher omega-3 intake is associated with a reduced risk of cataracts and better overall retinal health. I'll never forget Charles, a 72-year-old retired mailman who came to see me. He was lean, active, and proud of his daily walks, but driving at night had become unbearable. "Doc, I can handle the rain and the hills, but headlights? I freeze up. The glare feels like knives." His cataracts were mild, not yet at the surgical stage, but his blood work told another story: chronically low omega-3 levels. Charles didn't eat fish, and he avoided nuts, thinking they were too fattening. We made one small change: 7 walnut halves every morning with his oatmeal. That's it, just a handful each day. 6 weeks later, he sat in my office with a grin. "I drove home last night and the lights didn't paralyze me. I was nervous, but I made it." His confidence was returning, his night vision improving. The cataracts hadn't disappeared, but his eyes were better nourished and his spirit was lighter. What makes walnuts so special is that they work on two fronts. First, the omega-3s soothe inflammation, which is often the silent accelerant behind eye disease. Second, they improve vascular flexibility, ensuring that your eyes, and your brain, by the way, stay well fed. This isn't just about preventing cataracts. It's about protecting your independence, your ability to drive at night, to read under different lighting, and to keep engaging with the world around you. The practical side is simple. Walnuts pair beautifully with foods you may already eat. Sprinkle a few halves on top of your salad, stir them into a bowl of Greek yogurt, or crush them lightly over your morning oatmeal. And here's a tip. Pairing walnuts with a bit of protein, like yogurt or milk, helps your body absorb those fats even more efficiently. So if you've been dreading nightfall, feeling the glare overwhelm you, or quietly avoiding driving because of vision struggles, maybe it isn't just age. Maybe your eyes are starved for the right kind of fat. Walnuts, wrinkled and humble as they look, could be the nourishment your vessels are begging for. Every walnut is like a drop of oil on rusty hinges, helping your vision stay steady and your confidence return. If almonds are the shield and walnuts the fuel line, then cashews are the caretakers of your retina, the very heart of your vision. Most people think of cashews as just a creamy, slightly sweet snack tossed into trail mix or stir fry. But inside each handful lies a combination of nutrients your eyes depend on in ways that few people realize. Two in particular stand out: zinc and lutein. Let's start with zinc. If vitamin A is the delivery package your retina needs, zinc is the delivery truck. Without enough zinc, vitamin A struggles to move from your liver to the retina, where it plays a crucial role in helping you see in dim light. This is why some people notice difficulty when shifting from a bright street into a dimly lit room. Their eyes simply can't adapt quickly enough. Over time, a zinc deficiency can leave the retina underpowered and vulnerable. Now let's talk about lutein. Think of it as a pair of internal sunglasses. Lutein is a carotenoid, a pigment that settles into your macula, the central part of the retina responsible for sharp vision. It filters harmful blue light, the kind pouring out of screens and harsh overhead lamps, and protects your retinal cells from light-induced damage. Unlike some compounds your body can produce, lutein isn't one of them. You have to get it from food, and cashews offer a steady, natural dose. I remember Anita, a 64-year-old pianist who played every Sunday at her church. She told me the hymnal pages were beginning to look washed out under fluorescent lights. I feel like I'm guessing at the notes, she admitted. She also struggled moving her gaze from the bright stage lights to the darker pews below, often hesitating before stepping down. Her diet was clean but low in minerals, and her zinc levels were suboptimal. Instead of supplements, we began with food. I asked her to eat a small serving of cashews, about 16 to 18 nuts, each evening, often paired with a piece of fruit. 2 months later, Anita beamed when she walked into my office. I can see my car in the parking lot at night without hesitation. I don't squint at the shadows anymore. I feel sharper, safer. The cashews hadn't reversed her aging, but they nourished her retina, improved her light adaptation, and restored her confidence behind the piano. That's the beauty of cashews. They don't promise miracles, but they offer steady, reliable nourishment to some of the most delicate cells in your body. When combined with a diet rich in leafy greens, eggs, and colorful vegetables, cashews add another layer of defense, especially against the everyday glare of screens and lights that bombard our eyes. So the next time you're reaching for an afternoon snack, skip the chips or cookies. Pour yourself a small bowl of cashews instead. Their zinc will make sure your vitamin A gets where it needs to go, and their lutein will quietly build a shield inside your retina. Think of them as a gentle evening guardian, supporting your vision at the very hours when your eyes work the hardest. Now let's talk about the most familiar nut of them all, though technically it's a legume, the peanut. For many of us, peanuts bring back memories of simple joys, peanut butter sandwiches, ballpark snacks, or a handful grabbed on the go. But beneath their ordinary appearance lies a surprising power for eye health, especially for protecting the lens of the eye. The very part that becomes clouded with cataracts. The lens is like the window pane of your vision, clear, precise, and resilient when you're young. But as the years pass, that window can fog up. What accelerates the fog? Poor circulation, inflammation, and metabolic stress. Here's where peanuts step in with two remarkable nutrients, niacin and resveratrol. Niacin, also known as vitamin B3, supports healthy blood vessels. Think of it as the maintenance crew that keeps your microscopic highways open, preventing blockages and improving nutrient delivery to the lens. Better circulation means the lens receives more of what it needs to stay clear and flexible. Studies, including one published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, have shown that diets rich in niacin are linked to a lower risk of cataract formation. Then there's resveratrol, a compound better known for its presence in red wine, but peanuts contain it too. Resveratrol acts like a firefighter, calming the small, smoldering flames of inflammation that slowly damage the proteins in your lens. By cooling that inflammation, resveratrol helps your lens resist the clumping and clouding that define cataracts. Dennis, a 70-year-old retired postal worker, brought this lesson home to me. He came in feeling frustrated. His words stuck with me. "Doc, I don't mind reading with glasses. I mind not trusting my own eyes when I walk down the stairs." His vision wasn't gone, but it was dull, as though someone had smeared a fingerprint across his glasses. His diet was heavy on breads and processed snacks, but very light on protein-rich foods. We made one swap. Instead of reaching for cookies or chips in the evening, Dennis kept a jar of roasted peanuts by his recliner. He had one modest handful each night. After about 2 months, he didn't claim miracles, but his tone shifted. "Things feel clearer. I'm less anxious stepping down the porch steps. I don't panic about missing one anymore." His ophthalmology check showed stable cataracts, not worsening, which gave him breathing room and hope. What I love about peanuts is how approachable they are. They're affordable, easy to store, and versatile. Spread natural peanut butter on whole grain toast for breakfast, toss a handful into a stir fry, or enjoy them roasted and lightly salted as a snack. If you're worried about calories, remember that just a small handful, about 28 grams or a quarter cup, provides plenty of benefit. The goal isn't to overdo it, but to give your eyes a steady stream of the nutrients they need. So while peanuts may seem ordinary, they carry extraordinary potential. Every bite delivers niacin to keep your circulation humming and resveratrol to protect your lens from the slow burn of inflammation. And perhaps most importantly, peanuts prove that protecting your vision doesn't require rare or expensive superfoods, just simple, thoughtful choices that, over time, preserve your independence and your confidence. Here's the truth I've learned after decades in medicine. Knowledge only matters if it turns into daily habits. You now know that almonds, walnuts, cashews, and peanuts each bring their own unique gifts to your eyes. Antioxidants, omega-3s, zinc, lutein, niacin, and resveratrol. But how do you make these foods part of your everyday life without it feeling like a burden? That's where a simple, practical routine makes all the difference. Imagine dividing your day into small moments where your eyes quietly receive a dose of protection. In the morning, as you sip your coffee or tea, reach for 20 to 25 almonds. They'll deliver vitamin E, arming your lens against the oxidative stress that's strongest in the early hours after waking. You don't need to measure them with precision. A small handful is enough. This is your shield to start the day. By midday, when your body's digesting lunch and your afternoon energy may dip, that's the perfect time for walnuts. 6 to 8 halves mixed into a salad, stirred into oatmeal, or eaten plain will give your circulation a boost with omega-3 fatty acids. Think of them as opening up tiny rivers of nourishment to your retina and lens so you can keep reading, working, or enjoying a walk without feeling that heavy blur in your vision. In the afternoon, when you're tempted by sweets or processed snacks, turn to cashews instead. 15 to 18 cashews will load your retina with zinc and lutein, the pair that keeps your night vision sharp and shields you from blue light. This is especially important if you spend time on phones, tablets, or computers. Cashews here act as your light filter, protecting you at the time of day when artificial light exposure is often highest. And in the evening, when cravings creep in, choose peanuts instead of sugary desserts. One modest handful gives you niacin and resveratrol, working silently as you rest to keep your blood vessels flexible and your lens healthier. It's a gentle way to close the day, feeding your eyes instead of burdening them. The beauty of this routine is its flexibility. You don't have to eat all four every single day. Maybe one day you have almonds and cashews, the next day walnuts and peanuts. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Your eyes will benefit from the steady rhythm of nutrients over weeks and months, not from one single snack. To make this stick, I often recommend something simple to my patients. Create a nut box. Take small jars or resealable bags, portion out the right amounts for each nut, and keep them where you'll see them, near the coffee maker, by your favorite chair, or in the pantry at eye level. When the healthy choice is the easy choice, it becomes second nature. Remember, this isn't just about eyesight. Each of these nuts also supports your heart, your brain, your skin, and your energy levels. But when combined, they become a quiet, natural medicine chest for your vision, protecting the lens, nourishing the retina, improving circulation, and calming inflammation. That's how you create momentum. One handful, one choice, one day at a time. When you step back and look at it, eating nuts for your vision isn't a diet, it's a rhythm. A daily act of care that says, my sight matters, my independence matters, and I am worth this effort. If you take away one thing from today, let it be this. Vision loss is not an unavoidable sentence of aging. Every choice you make, even something as small as a handful of nuts, can tip the balance toward clarity, confidence, and independence. Your eyes are precious and they deserve the steady care that simple foods can provide. Remember, it's not about perfection, but momentum. Begin today and let your future self thank you. I'm Dr. Brian, and this is Ageless Garden. Take care of your vision, take care of your life. You are worth every effort.